다 Tsenzhab 동네 텐데 군인지 쓰는데 근데 나고 쉬어나시 나고 쉬어나시 근데 센터가 잠깐 그랬어.
So I was discussing last evening the methods for being able to develop compassion, which is the wish for everyone to be free from all their problems and suffering. And this is something that you have to train and purify your heart to be able to develop such an attitude. And the attitude with which you wish everyone to be happy is what is called love. Then we all wish to be happy, but most people do not really know the way to become happy, and therefore they get themselves in difficult situations, uncontrollably recurring situations, which just involve a great deal of problems, and so they don't have the happiness that they wish. So it's very important to develop a strong feeling and attitude of wishing others to be happy. And the way that you train is to first think in terms of you wishing yourself to be happy, then for your mother to be happy, your father. You train further and further, thinking of friends, enemies, and then wishing everybody to be happy. And this is the manner upon which you meditate on love. Then, in addition, you need to develop a sense of universal responsibility with which you feel that you take the responsibility and feel that I am actually going to do something to bring happiness to everyone. I'm actually going to try to solve everybody's problems and take them out of whatever difficult situation they're in. And so you need this exceptionally strong state of mind, which is known as a state of exceptional resolve, that you resolve to do it yourself. But even if we develop this exceptional resolve with which we feel that I'm going to bring happiness to everyone, I'm going to help eliminate everyone's problems, nevertheless, when we examine ourselves, we don't really have the ability to be able to do this. We can't really bring happiness to everyone. We can't really solve everyone's problems. If we ask who does have the ability to do this, it's only someone who is totally clear-minded and fully evolved, someone who has reached their fullest potential, namely a Buddha. Therefore, if we achieve the state of a Buddha ourselves, then we will fully be able to help everyone. And this is something that we can actually accomplish on the basis of this precious human life that we have. We actually can become a fully enlightened Buddha. Therefore, the attitude with which we dedicate ourselves fully to others and to reaching the state of a Buddha in order to be able to help everyone is what is known as the dedicated heart of bodhicitta. Once you actually develop this attitude of a dedicated heart, then the of wishing to achieve enlightenment for the benefit of all, there are great benefits which follow. It is said that to develop this dedicated heart, even for one moment, has far greater benefits than if you were to offer the entire world full of jewels and gold and diamonds to the Buddha. If you were to simply offer one flower with the dedicated heart, feeling that you are doing this in order to achieve enlightenment, to be able to benefit everyone, and you do it therefore with the intention of this being for the benefit of all beings, then the positive potential built up by it is proportionate to this aim. It's equal to, in size, to all beings. If when you wake up in the morning, you first of all feel how fortunate you are not to have died during the night, that you woke up and are still alive, and then you dedicate yourself, your heart for the entire day, feeling that whatever type of positive things I do, may this be for the benefit of everyone, then whatever positive actions and constructive things you actually do during the day will be carried along by the force of this positive energy and your dedication in the morning. And even if you don't have this thought at other times during the day, still your entire day will be carried along by this great positive energy that you build up with this strong intention in the morning. Therefore, to have a dedicated heart as your motivation is extremely important. At the end of the day, you should re-examine your behavior, everything you've done during the day, and you should see that, for instance, if you have acted very positively during the day and been very constructive, you should feel very happy about that, and you should then dedicate the potential which has been built up by this actually for your achievement of enlightenment and for your ability to help everyone. You should dedicate the positive energy for the benefit of all beings. And then when you go to sleep, you should likewise set the strong intention that tomorrow I am also going to act in a very positive way. I'm also going to work towards enlightenment. I'm going to work to be able to benefit all beings. And if you go to sleep with this attitude, then again, this positive energy will carry through throughout your entire period of sleep, and that as well will be something positive. If you dedicate all the positive potential that you've built up as a route to ripen into your achievement of enlightenment, then this potential will continue to endure until that enlightenment is actually reached. So it will be something which will be long-lasting and not exhaust until it's the goal that it's dedicated for, namely your enlightenment to be able to benefit everyone, has been reached. So it's important to dedicate your positive potential in a very far-reaching manner like this. Now, the dedicated heart of bodhicitta actually has two levels. When you simply wish or aspire to achieve a state of enlightenment as a Buddha in order to be able to help everybody, this is known as the aspiring type of dedicated heart. So there's both an aspiring type and an involved type of dedicated heart. And the involved type of dedicated heart is the state of mind with which you feel that it's not enough simply to aspire to achieve enlightenment, to be able to benefit everyone, but that you have to actually enter into all the practices of a dedicated being or bodhisattva, which will actually bring you to this state. So your heart is completely involved in the practices to bring you to enlightenment, and the practices which will benefit everyone, which are abbreviated into what's known as the 6 far-reaching attitudes or perfections, and the 4 ways of being a positive influence on others. And the attitude with which you wish to train yourself in all of these is known as the involved type of dedicated heart. An example for understanding the difference between these two types of heart would be, for instance, if you thought to go to India, merely the wish to go would be the aspiring type of heart. But it's not enough simply to wish to want to go to India. You actually have to involve yourself in the various steps for getting there. You have to obtain a visa, you have to get a plane ticket, make a reservation, and so forth. And when you involve yourself in this process, this is similar to the involved type of heart. And as for the ways in which you train yourself with this attitude, the first is to develop a giving attitude. Generosity, or a giving type of attitude, is the attitude with which you are willing to give everything to others. Whatever type of things that we have in this lifetime which we enjoy, all our possessions and so forth, all of these things are the result of the generosity that we've practiced in previous lives. And in general, there are many objects to whom you can give. You can offer things up in a giving manner to the Buddhas, and likewise you can offer things to others who are in need, for instance, the sick, the poor, and the needy. For instance, you can offer to someone who's in a very difficult and unpleasant situation, you can offer them something which is very pleasant. There was an example from a previous lifetime of the Buddha when there was a hungry tigress who was in a very difficult situation with her cubs, and the previous life of the Buddha, he was willing to give up his body to feed the hungry tigress. Body, after all, is something that we cherish the most, and the Buddha had such a giving attitude that he was willing to feed himself to the hungry tigress. This is a well-known account. The second far-reaching attitude is to keep strict moral discipline. And this refers to the ethical discipline of, for instance, holding yourself back from killing, taking the life of other creatures or beings, and holding yourself back from acting in any of the 10 destructive manners. This is what ethical discipline is about. If you don't have any type of ethical self-discipline, then there's no way that you can achieve a rebirth as a human being or as a god. And so therefore it's very important to keep strict ethical self-discipline if you wish to continue with a good rebirth. If you practice generosity but do not have any type of ethical self-discipline, then the result of this is a rebirth which will not be one as a human being, but we will be reborn, for instance, as an animal that will have a great deal of material possessions. From the giving attitude, you get this material possessions, but because you had no self-discipline, no ethics, then you're not reborn as a human, but as an animal. And there are many animals that have a lot of possessions that they hoard. The third thing is to build up tolerance and patience as a beneficial habit of mind. If you don't have tolerance and patience, then you will get angry, and when you get angry, it completely devastates and destroys whatever positive potential and energy you've been building up. You've been building it up, but when you get angry, it completely destroys it, like, for instance, having an exposed film and taking it through an X-ray machine at an airport, it erases the film. Once you get angry, it's very difficult to just immediately calm back down, but you should train yourself to think about all the disadvantages that follow from getting angry, and in this way you will help yourself, or you'll help prevent yourself from losing your temper. There are some type of people whose disposition is such that due to previous habits and instincts that they've built up in the past, they have a strong tendency always to be unhappy and miserable, and always to lose their temper and be angry. This does exist. And if that type of situation arises in which you are always angry and always frustrated in a certain situation, when you meet a certain type of person or object or whatever it is that always annoys you, sometimes it can be very helpful to leave that area where you're staying and completely avoid whatever it is that always makes you angry. So in this way, by not coming into contact with the thing that always is making you angry, this can be very helpful in helping you get over such an angry temperament. Likewise, there are various causes which make you angry, and it's best not to think about it. It's best not to poke around and always try to investigate the causes for your anger, but best to just forget about it and not give it any thought. And the reason for this is that when you have various types of learning, if you don't think about it, you then forget what you've learned. And likewise, when you don't think about your anger, likewise you'll forget it. And if you're able to overcome your anger in this way, so that you never become angry, you never lose your temper in any situation, then you'll find that everyone will like you and admire you and say, what a wonderful person. This person never loses their temper. If you don't manage to control your anger, but you always give into it, then you'll find that you're going to become angry even at the slightest thing. Someone's going to say to you, you have a funny nose, and you'll just immediately explode in anger. If you become angry, then you are not able to maintain any type of harmony or balance with others, and then you won't be able to accomplish anything that you wish to set out to do. If you want to accomplish your purposes, you need to have a harmonious relation with others, and you'll never get that if you're always angry with others. If you're able to have harmony with others that you're working with, then you'll be able to accomplish great things. You'll be able to build up a strong working force with others if you have a harmonious relation. The next far-reaching attitude is that of positive enthusiasm, which is the feeling of enthusiasm and happiness about doing something positive. If you just work very hard and put a great deal of effort into ordinary worldly matters, that's not called positive enthusiasm. But if you put a great deal of work and effort into spiritual matters and training, that's what's called positive enthusiasm. The opposite of positive enthusiasm is what is known as laziness. There are 3 different types of laziness. First, there's a feeling, the type of laziness, which is a feeling of inadequacy. For instance, you look at all these marvelous deeds that the dedicated beings have done in terms of feeding their bodies to others and so on, and you feel totally inadequate and you feel that I can't possibly do something like that, and that's known as a feeling of inadequacy. It's a type of laziness, and it is a type of laziness because if you train, if you practice, you actually can reach that point where you can do such things. Then the second type of laziness is the laziness of giving up. And this is when you set out to do something positive. You work like a fanatic for a few weeks or a month or so, and then you don't accomplish what you want to do, and then you give it up. This is a form of laziness, and it's important not to have that type of attitude, but to persevere with a steady type of effort and not give up. Then the next type of laziness is the laziness of procrastination, of always putting things off till tomorrow. You feel that, well, I'll do it tomorrow or the next day, and you constantly put it off. And this is an extremely poor attitude. If a person is lazy, then it's going to be very difficult for them to develop any good qualities, for them to gain any learning or to master anything. Laziness by nature might seem to be something that doesn't have such a great fault attached with it, but actually it's something which is an extremely negative thing because it makes us waste our entire life. And therefore it's extremely important to develop an attitude of positive enthusiasm. In the past, there was a great master called Dromdumba who was an emanation of Chenresi or Avalokiteshvara, and he had a wholehearted commitment to a spiritual master and served him very sincerely, the master called Tsenzhab. And the way that he would practice is he would sit, and with his feet he would soften the leather hides of his master, and with his hands he would churn the milk, and with his back he would rock back and forth to make yogurt, and then he would put his textbooks just to the side of him as he was doing all of this, and he would study in that manner with great enthusiasm. And when Atisha came to Tibet, and he met Dromdumba, and he asked him about what he had done in the past, and Dromdumba explained this. Then he said, out of all the spiritual practices that you did, the most positive was to this type of service that you did, this type of action. So if you are a very capable and competent person, then you should be able to, you'll be able to do both a worldly type of activity and spiritual activity very well, but if you are an incompetent person, then you won't be able to do either. Therefore, I'm very happy to see people like yourselves who hold jobs and work during the day, and in the evenings come to various spiritual teachings and activities. This is something which makes me extremely happy to see. The next one is the next far-reaching attitude is one of having constancy of mind. We need to develop a state of mind which has concentration and mental constancy. So what is required is a certain method to settle your mind, and this is done by focusing on an object of concentration, and whatever type of object you do, then you do a type of meditation of fixating and focusing on that object, and you should choose an object carefully, and then whatever object you have, don't change it, but try to settle your mind in a focused state on that object, and if you practice correctly, you can gain a serenely settled state of mind with total concentration within 6 months. When you start to meditate or try to build up beneficial habits of the mind through learning to concentrate, you should have just very short but frequent sessions. So you should have, for instance, something like 18 short sessions a day, and then your practice will go well. We do all sorts of recitation practices of various deities. We try to gain visions of them and to actualize the deity, but we don't succeed. And the reason that we don't succeed is because we don't have a serenely settled state of mind. We don't have concentration. You sit and try to recite a rosary of Om Mani Padme Hum, and although your body is there, in your mind you're going all over the place and wandering throughout your recitation. There was a person who always used to forget what he was doing. He'd forget everything in his business affairs, and when that would happen, he would tell people to wait a second, I'll sit down and start saying my prayers, and then I'll remember.
Es gab da eine Person, die vergaß immer ihr ganzes Geschäft und konnte sich an keine Einzelheiten erinnern.
So it's important to be very strong and be very determined that you're going to, for instance, say a whole rosary of Om Mani Padme Hum, and that during that entire time you're not going to allow your mind to wander at all. And if you can do this, you will reap many great benefits from this practice. If you can develop a serenely settled state of mind, then whatever type of positive thing you want to put your energies into, you'll immediately be able to send your mind in that positive direction. And if you can develop a serenely settled state of mind, then it's on this basis that you'll be able to develop extrasensory perception. You won't be able to have any type of ESP unless you have a serenely settled mind. So if you can develop a serenely settled state of mind, it's like having a great airplane at your disposal. Whatever positive thing you want to set your mind out to do, it will immediately go there with great force and energy. And wherever you want to set your mind down, it will just stay there and be immovable. And even if you develop a serenely settled state of mind, and in addition you develop an exceptionally perceptive mind as well, mind of vipassana, that by itself is not sufficient, because your mind has to be both serenely settled and exceptionally perceptive and aimed at reality. So it's necessary to develop discriminating awareness with which you understand reality or voidness, the absence of all fantasized ways of existing, and this brings us to the sixth far-reaching attitude, which is a far-reaching attitude of discriminating awareness or wisdom. So this discriminating awareness is the awareness with which you understand that there's no such thing as a true identity for yourself, or any self. And when this type of statement is made, you should understand that what's being denied is a fantasized thing, namely that people or yourself has a true findable identity, but it's not denying that there are persons and there's a self in general. It's just denying that there's a true findable concrete identity. It's very important to try to differentiate correctly two types of eyes. There are two types of eyes that appear, I or self that appears. There's the self which is just the conventional, ordinary self, and then there's the self which is completely fantasized and to be refuted. And if you don't differentiate these two carefully, then you're going to get into a lot of trouble. The conventional self is the self that just goes back and forth. I eat, I walk, I do negative things and then experience problems from them. I do positive things and I experience happiness. It's just this regular I. It's a conventional self. But in addition, there's a fantasized type of I, which is an I that exists concretely from its own side, that doesn't exist merely as what can be imputed on the aggregate factors of your experience, but seems to stand out there all by itself, independent of everything else. That's something which is a total fantasy and is to be refuted, but not the conventional ordinary I of I walk around and I do things. Therefore, on the basis of this precious human life that we have, we should try to develop this discriminating awareness with which we understand that there's no such thing as true findable identities and so on. And likewise, we should develop try to develop, in addition to this, a dedicated heart of bodhicitta, in which we're fully dedicated to others and to achieving enlightenment, and have a kind and warm heart for others. These are things we should try to do on the basis of our precious human life. If you have this discriminating awareness with which you understand voidness, the total absence of all fantasized ways of existing, then you can eliminate all your problems and gain a state of liberation from all difficulties. But if in addition to this you have a heart which is totally dedicated to others and to achieving a state of total clear-mindedness and full involvement, dedicated to achieving the state of a Buddha, then you actually will be able to achieve that state of a Buddha. So having achieved a precious human life, you should try your hardest and your best to practice these two things. Because if you simply use your life in the pursuit of material things and constantly are after more and more material possessions in this life, you never will feel that you have enough, and you'll always be dissatisfied. Therefore, it's very important to develop an attitude with which you are satisfied with what you have and aren't always seeking for more and more without any end. If you have no concept of or feeling for when you've had it, when it's enough already, then even if you were to have all the possessions and wealth of the entire world, you would still feel that it wasn't enough and you would want more. If you have some type of food which you consider extremely delicious and you like very much, but you have no idea of when enough is enough, then you eat so much of it it'll make you sick and throw up. So you should learn to have some satisfaction, to feel satisfied, to know when enough is enough, and to have thoughts to help others and never hurt anyone, and try your best to practice to have a warm and kind heart, and say Omani Peme Hums, and to practice like this will make your life very meaningful. So don't waste your life in just being involved in trying to accomplish trivial things, but try to accomplish something very great, work to bring about benefit in all your future lives. And the really main point of practice is to always have a kind and warm heart, to always feel happy with others whenever you meet someone, to feel happy and pleased, and always to be kind. This is really the main point. And never have any type of feelings or thoughts with which you would want to hurt or harm anyone. So getting rid of all harmful thoughts and developing thoughts of kindness and wishing to help others, these are the main points of practice. So if you're working like this for others, then to bring others to a great state, you'll find that you yourself will achieve enlightenment. You yourself will become a Buddha first. For instance, if you train yourself to have all good qualities and become very well educated and learned, then you yourself will first become a great official. And then having achieved that powerful position and influential position, then you really will be able to help others effectively. So therefore it's important to take this dedicated heart with which you dedicate yourself to helping others and to achieving your fullest potentials. In order to be able to do so, to take this type of dedication as your basic practice. And if each day you could constantly renew your dedication to always rededicate your heart over and again to others, over and again to reaching your fullest potential, over and again to wishing everybody to be free from their problems and everybody to be happy, then this would be extremely beneficial. And when you hear about these various instructions about love and a dedicated heart, you should take this as personal advice and something that you should try to develop right now. You shouldn't think of it as something that is practice that's way off in the future and something very advanced that you'll never be able to get to. For instance, when you first go to school, then immediately once you get there, you would start to learn how to write the alphabet, to start with the letter A. Therefore, by the same example, you should start from the beginning to dedicate your heart to others and to achieving your fullest potentials. And if you rededicate your heart over and again in this way, then you will build this up as a beneficial habit of mind, and it will come naturally, so that this dedicated heart will be something very stable within you. Therefore, you should try to practice changing your attitudes concerning self and others. Thank you very much.
He says in Western science, it is said any kind of mental activity needs as a basis some kind of body. What happens with the 5 skandhas in the body state? How they function? I mean, how is mind functioning?
Are the 5 skandhas, or does it have a body?
Nochmal, Wolfgang?
Also, was mit den Skandhas passiert im Moment des Todes?
What happens with the skandhas at the moment of death?
When the Buddhists would agree with the scientific position that you do need a body as a basis for the mind, and in the bardo or in-between state, which comes after this life and before your next life, you do have all the 5 aggregate factors of experience complete. You do have a body in that state, but it's an extremely subtle, ethereal type of body, and it's in the form of what you're going to be reborn as. But let's say if it's a human, it's as a small child that you will become in that next life, and you'll have all your senses complete. It's a bardo body is something which is extremely subtle and ethereal. For instance, it can walk through walls.
Okay, bitte.
When you are using Vajra and Bela as a kind of instrument, which kind of puja should you recite or say? Which kind of puja is the best to say when you are using Vajra and Bela?
You should, when you use Vajra and Bell, you should use it to do the various practices of the highest class of Tantra, which is called the Nuttara Yoga, or the peerlessly integrated deity practices.
Wo findet man diese Texte? Where do you find these texts?
근데 초가든소 카와제그래, 카와니에그래, 초가든소 카와니에그래, 카와라그래. You should ask the various teachers who are in this part of the world, such as Geshe Rupten and others. Just says he visited the what's it called, the the Schloss of Nymphenburg today, and perhaps you might be able to find the ritual somewhere inside there.
Schloss Nymphenburg besucht, vielleicht findet man die Rituale irgendwo dort.
But I'm only joking with you.
Aber es ist natürlich Spaß. Yes, Rinpoche has said in Jägerdorf, he's talked about 2 different views about the awareness which perceives voidness. Mm-hmm. And if the conventional eye could perceive, and if Rinpoche could talk about this point some more.
What are you referring to? The 2 different types of consciousness can take voidness.
Is it 2 views on awareness which perceive voidness? It's
2 views about the awareness, which is the consciousness of voidness.
Yeah.
What was mentioned is that you have a difference in Sutra and Tantra, not in terms of voidness as the object which is understood. What's understood is the same, but the consciousness which understands it is different. And in Tantra, it's a blissful type of consciousness that takes void, that understands and realizes voidness, whereas in Sutra you don't have the generation of a blissful type of consciousness or a blissful awareness with which you understand voidness. And in the 4 classes of Tantra you have 4 different levels of blissful consciousness which take voidness as its object. You have the types of blissful consciousness which would arise from looking at your partner, then a blissful consciousness from exchanging smiles with your partner, and then a blissful consciousness from holding hands with your partner, and a blissful consciousness from being in sexual union with your partner. And so these are the 4 levels of blissful consciousness that take voidness as their object. So when you have a practice in which you have a blissful consciousness that arises from looking at the partner, and this blissful consciousness takes voidness as its object, that's the first class of Tantra, called Kriya Tantra, or ritual deity behavior. Then when you have a blissful consciousness that arises from smiling at a partner, and that takes voidness as its object. That's those type of practices are called Charya Tantra, or behavioral deity practice. And when you have the blissful consciousness from holding hands with a partner, and that takes voidness as its object, those type of practices are called Yoga Tantra, or integrated deity practice. And when you have a blissful consciousness that arises from being in sexual union with a partner, and that takes voidness as its object, then that type of practice is the purelessly integrated deity practices of Anuttara Yoga Tantra. So in this type of Anuttara Yoga practice, the highest practice, you take desire as a path, because from desire arises this blissful type of awareness, and this blissful type of awareness is then used to understand reality or voidness, and in that way you get rid of all desire and attachment. The example is like when you have a termite, a small insect which is born inside a piece of wood, that it grows up and eats the entire wood away.
Was ist überhaupt die Erleuchtung?
What is enlightenment at all?
Enlightenment you can understand as meaning either being totally clear-minded and fully evolved, or being completely purified and achieving all growth. So it means to have completely overcome and cleared out and purified yourself of all shortcomings, and on the other hand to achieve all possible good qualities that can be achieved, so that's fully evolved, or the highest level of growth. That's the meaning of enlightenment.
Und das ist die Bedeutung von Erleuchtung.
That's the become a Buddha.
Das heißt,
that's
ein
what a
Buddha
Buddha is.
werden.
So when you speak about purified and growth, purify all the shortcomings and achieve all good qualities through growth. And when you speak of being clear-minded, it's clearing away all the disturbing attitudes, like opening up the curtain so you can see everything clearly. So clear-minded, and then fully evolved in the sense that once you've opened up the curtain of your mind and you're fully clear-minded and can see everything, then you see the totality of everything and you can evolve to your fullest potential. And when you, the expression perfectly enlightened, then perfectly has the idea of that you have no more any faults. And when you say fully, like perfectly and fully enlightened, the fully has the connotation that all possible good qualities are complete within you. Does that answer your question?
Ist das Antwort genug?
Kann man selber feststellen, wenn man das völlig erleuchtet ist?
Can you yourself know and pinpoint that you are enlightened?
The Sanghi Koban Jupsana di Soso Hakogurve. Once you've been crowned as a king, do you know that you're king?
Wenn man dich als König gekrönt hat, verstehst du dann oder weißt du, dass du ein König bist?
Once you're a king, you know that you're a king, don't you?
Wenn du ein König bist, dann weißt du das.
Ja, dann ist das lustig vielleicht, aber das ist auch nicht erleuchtet, mit dem Ball.
But yeah, with the king it's okay, but if I'm enlightened, if I know that.
Kyawo tende di takaranga, yene Sanghi ki Koban Jupna tende ayo. Yeah, it's the same.
Das Gleiche. Wenn es ist, dann weißt du. Is it getting enlightened? Is it something gradual or something sudden? There are certain persons where it is well known that they have gotten enlightened at a certain date, but he never heard that from Tibetan sources.
Whoever becomes enlightened, it's through a gradual process of having built up a tremendous amount of positive potentials and so on over many lifetimes. But when they actually do become enlightened, like the evening when the Buddha sat down, then all at once they become enlightened. So it's something which is very gradual, that is built up over a long period of time, but when it happens, then it happens. When you graduate from school, is it a gradual process to graduate, or do you just graduate all at once?
He asked, what is the difference between a university professor who knows maybe 40,000 words and melka.
Yeah, America.
A person who gets the milk from the cow, who knows maybe 150 words. What's the difference between both?
The only difference is that the one who is only knows 150 words hasn't trained himself. Because he didn't train, because he didn't practice, because he didn't learn, he didn't become like the professor. Rinpoche is also very happy to have been able to meet with all of you.